Welcome to another edition of From the Bottom Up. This time around, we are going to serve up some soup here. The Rolling Stones and Goat's Head Soup came out August the 31st, 1973, reached number one, and went triple platinum. And on this one here, we got 10 tracks in all. So we're going to go ahead and get started real quick. We're starting off with our number 10, of course, like usual. And that is going to be Can You Hear the Music? And this one is just one that I really just can't get into. I'm not really sure why. Just nothing really grabs me and catches me on this song. So that's what we got here. And that will take us down to number nine. And I know I'm just not the only one who thinks this, but I've got Dancing with Mr. D. Yes, that's right, the opening track, which many have claimed this is like the weakest opening track on any Stones album, one of the weakest tracks ever. So it's not just me saying this. I've seen it all over the place here. So, all right. So that will take us down to number eight, and that will be Hide Your Love. Decent song. And this is where the album starts to finally come into its own here with us. The first two tracks were kind of like throwaways, but this Hide Your Love is steady. And that leads us to where we really start getting into the good stuff here. We're going to go down to number seven, Coming Down Again, which has a couple things here. It's the longest song on the album, clocking in at 5:54. And also, it's mainly a Keith Richards song that he wrote, although shows that Mick also has a writing credit there. Mick Jagger. Um, but it's a Keith Richards song through and through. He sings the lead vocals on, and many claim this is one of Keith Richards' best top vocal performances on record. And sadly enough, they never got to really play this one live. So that's coming down again. That's definitely a stellar track here. Now we're going to go down to number six, and that is going to be Star Star. And one interesting note here was that the title was initially going to be called Starfucker, but Ahmet Ertegun, the big boss, made them change the title or called for them to change the title. And the song definitely gets some flack for its explicit lyrics, but that's basically why they wrote it. That's what the song was all about. So kind of taken away from the artistic freedom here is what happened to these guys on this song. But all in all, this is a good, very good song. Doesn't matter what it's called, whether it is Star Star or Star Fucker. Either way, it's a great song. And we got it at number six. That's going to take us to number five. We've got 100 Years Ago. Uh, Pretty cool tune. Written a couple of years prior to this album. And believe it or not, it was only played at the first two shows on the European tour way back in 1973, and then it's pretty much been shelved ever since. That's something you really don't see too often, but that's what they did with this one. Yeah, it's going to take us down to number four, and we've got Winter. Yes, it is winter here. Although he shared a writing credit, Richards does not play on the song. Mick Taylor is actually the lead guitarist on here and plays all the guitars, except for I think Mick Jagger plays a little bit of rhythm. So that was kind of interesting that this is the only song that Keith doesn't play on. So give it a listen. Definitely a cool tune, regardless of who's playing on it. Definitely one of the best songs on this album by a landslide here. So that's what we've got. Number four, Winter. Number three, of course, we're talking Do 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 Heartbreaker, which peaked at number 15. It was the second single released for the album. And obviously, everybody knows this one. It's still played on classic rock stations to this day. And it also has the distinction of being the shortest song on this album. And I like what catches your attention here is the fast pacedness of the song. It's very cool. And it's a short but sweet song. You know, it does its damage, gets in and gets out. And that's going to take us down to our number two. And we've got Silver Train, which was the B-side to Angie. The song had come to life and was first recorded actually during the Sticky Finger sessions a few years before. So they dug it up, and presto, here you have it. Very cool tune. And I think they saved it for the right album because it would have definitely been out of place on Sticky Fingers as opposed to this album. It fits just perfectly right on here. And of course, that's going to take us to our number one, and that's the one we mentioned already. Number one, of course, Angie. Of course, what else could it be? Peaked at number one, was the lead single for the album. Um, clocking in at 4:33. It caused some radio stations at the time to edit it down to 3 minutes. And when they do that, they are omitting the longer coda and the second instrumental section of the song. And so that, kind of doesn't do anybody any good on that one. But that's what they had to do because some of the radio stations just wouldn't play it unless it was an edited version. That's just how radio was back in the day. That's why it's amazing how far we've come from that time, and we are starting to see other songs, longer songs released as singles, which is cool and good for the music industry. All right, let's give it a quick rundown for you here. This is the first Rolling Stones album we did of many. We're going to have many on here. Don't worry about that. Number 10, we've got Can You Hear the Music? Number 9, Dancing with Mr. D. Number 8, Hide Your Love. Number 7, Coming Down Again. And 6, we got Star Star. 5, we got 100 Years Ago. 4, we've got Winter. 3, we've got Do Heartbreaker. Number 2, Silver Train. And of course, number 1, as we mentioned before, Angie. And that concludes this edition of From the Bottom Up. We'll see you on the flip side.